it shocked me. I quickly got into my car.
Okay, what kind of car were they in?
A Dodge. It was a Dodge car. Dart. And
Did you get a license plate?
Black. I did. I can't see it.
This is the video of a citizen who watched a scary scene that she came across on June 19, 2024, around 7:45 p.m. A deadly encounter unfolded, one that would leave more questions than answers. This is the chilling story of a man who met a tragic fate at the hands of law enforcement. But why did it happen? What drove this seemingly ordinary man to make the decision that led to his death? And more importantly, was there something more lurking beneath the surface of that night? A simple parking lot near a Popeyes restaurant at the intersection of US 50 and Outlook Boulevard. At approximately 7:45 p.m., the dispatcher received a call about a suspicious man, one who was reportedly waving a gun.
I just walked out, and as I was walking out, there were three guys sitting in a Dodge black car, and they had a gun pointing out the...
Okay, were they in the parking lot?
Yes, they were in the parking lot getting ready to go into the McAllister's.
The caller was frantic, but trying to stay composed, reports the most chilling detail. A black Dodge Dart parked in the parking lot, and an armed man was sitting in the passenger seat. A gun was pointed from the passenger side window, and the caller was shocked and rattled and was desperate to provide all the details she could.
Okay, was the male that was getting out of the car, did he have the gun?
I don't know. It was weird because it looked like the passenger had the gun that was sitting in the passenger seat. And then he started saying something about his gun. You can get that down. And then I walked into McAllister's, and I quickly got my car.
Okay, so they did walk into McAllister's?
Yes, they were in McAllister's, and we thought we saw them sit down.
The operator quickly gathered the details: a Dodge Dart, the color black, and a man sitting in the passenger seat. He wasn't alone. A second man was reportedly moving around the car, and the shooter seemed to be communicating something about the gun.
Okay, I have a call and we're getting officers there. And you left, correct?
I did. It was a little scary.
Okay, I have that call and we have officers en route.
Thank you so much. I just didn't feel right leaving knowing that.
The caller described the suspect's disturbing actions and how they could see the gun clearly pointed from inside the passenger seat. Black clothes, dark jeans, a hoodie. It was a scene that didn't add up. Why? Why would someone do this? Was it a threat? Or something worse?
How far out are you guys? We're at 50 in Club Manor right now. Alright, you guys want to try to find the vehicle first? Okay, from 11, showing myself, and 13 in the area.
20 and 2 for weapons call. 20 and 2.
11, I'm not seeing any Dodge Darts over here. 11, the other units, I'm just going to look around the area and see if I can find it here.
Within a mere 6 minutes, officers arrived at the scene, responding to the growing urgency of the situation. A vehicle matching the description was parked outside Popeyes. The tension is palpable as officers approach. They know they're walking into a potential danger zone. Every second could change everything. The officers immediately demanded the suspect to show his hands, their voices clear and commanding. There was no response, no movement. The windows were tinted, no way to see inside, but something was wrong. The suspect was not complying.
Hands up! Stop reaching! Stop reaching! Show me your hands! He's reaching, refusing to show his hands right now.
The officer's warning was loud and clear, but the suspect wasn't listening. At that moment, the officers had no idea what lay beyond that tinted glass. Was he reaching for a gun? Was he preparing for an attack? The moment stretched, and then without warning, the vehicle erupted in violence.
On your left. Hands! Hands! You're gonna get shot! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Do not reach! Hands up! Don't reach! Keep your hands up!
The suspect had raised his weapon. The shots were fired through the windshield, the bullet-riddled glass catching the light in a deadly dance. And then, without hesitation, the officers returned fire. 6 shots, 1 for each of the suspects. Training took over, but nothing could prepare them for what would come next. The person, who was later identified as Ronald Ray Valdez, was a 34-year-old father and partner who tragically lost his life in this police shooting. While the details surrounding the incident are complex, Ronald's family and friends are determined to tell the world who he is. He was a man who was deeply loved by those close to him, and someone whose life was filled with more than just the circumstances surrounding his untimely death. For those who knew Ronald, his story is one of struggle, but also of love and warmth. Despite some difficult periods in his life, his family remembers him as a funny, goofy, and kind-hearted person. He was the type of individual who brought light and laughter into the lives of those around him. In fact, his aunt described him as someone who had not a bad story to tell. He wasn't perfect, but he was far from the image that the public often forms about people involved in incidents like this one. Ronald's family, particularly his sisters, had been known in their community for their involvement in local charitable efforts. They had supported various causes which included helping the homeless. Community pastor Reverend Paul Montoya, who had worked closely with Ronald's family over the years, shared his thoughts about the tragedy. "I didn't know Ron personally, but I know his sisters. They're a wonderful family," he said. "This doesn't seem like the way Ronnie was." For those who had known him, the image of the person portrayed in the news reports did not align with the Ronald they had loved. Ronald's background was not without its difficulties. He had a criminal history, including being a convicted felon who was awaiting sentencing for drug distribution. But for his family and loved ones, these details didn't define him. He was more than his past mistakes. He was a father of 4 children, and his girlfriend had shared many happy moments with him over the years. Despite the challenges he faced, Ronald remained deeply committed to his family and loved ones. At the vigil, his brother spoke up, echoing the sentiments of many in the crowd. "We've got to do this again because we still haven't seen him. So let's do it bigger because we've done this before, right?" These words resonated deeply with the family and friends who had gathered to honor his memory. Ronald's death was a devastating blow to his family, but it also sparked a wave of grief and a call for justice. Just days after the tragic event, his family organized a vigil at the site of the shooting. Hundreds of people gathered to remember him, not just as the man lost that night, but as the loving father, son, and friend he had been. The vigil was a moment of unity where people shared stories, lit candles, and released balloons in his memory. During the vigil, emotions ran high. One woman held a sign asking why Ronald had been shot more than 30 times. His cousin vowed, "We will make sure everyone knows he wasn't who they say he was." His aunt, tearfully, added, "What happened didn't have to go down that way." These words reflected the family's deep frustration. The family made it clear that they would continue to seek justice for Ronald, not just for the way he died, but for the person he truly was.